Howdy, I'm Clay Kalmbach from Bear Builds, and today I'm going to show you how I built the queen-sized Floyd bed. I started this build with 4 sheets of 3/4 inch maple plywood that I laminated together with Type Bond Original. I needed to make sure as much surface area was coated as possible, so I used a scrap offcut to spread it out evenly. I got my brother to help me move the plywood since it was incredibly heavy, and I repeated the process so I had 2 very large 1.5 inch thick pieces of plywood. So I basically found anything that had weight and I put it on top of the plywood so the glue can dry with some pressure on it, and hopefully it'll be cured by the morning. The bed itself consists of 3 bed panels and a headboard, so I used my T-square to measure out everything to the desired dimensions. I used a trim board as a guide for my circular saw to guarantee that my cuts would be straight and square. Going through 1.5 inches of stock required multiple passes to prevent any bad tear out. After the first cut, I started using painter's tape to make sure that any tear out would be minimal to unnoticeable. And since I didn't use any clamps around the edges, I used more wood glue to touch up the areas that were separated. The next step was sanding, so I sanded every surface on each of the panels with 220 grit sandpaper. I hand sanded the edges as well to round them over just a little bit. My client wanted some holes near the headboard to serve as channels for charging cords, so I used a 5/8 inch Forstner bit to drill out the hole, and then I used some sandpaper wrapped around a dowel to smooth out the inside. The last step before assembly was applying finish. I used one of my favorites, which is Varathane's water-based crystal clear satin polyurethane. I used water-based poly to bring attention to the grain without changing the color too much. I applied 3 coats to the top and 2 coats to the sides and bottom. Opening up the hardware box was pretty exciting because the branding alone looks awesome, but I also just think hardware is pretty neat. A QR code for the instructions was the first thing that I saw when I opened up the box, but where we're going, we don't need instructions. They also included cork pads with adhesive just in case you're putting your Floyd bed on hardwood or tile floors. To keep the panels from separating, the hardware is cinched together with a ratchet strap. I didn't get any footage showing how sturdy the bed is, but I can guarantee you that the tension alone is enough to keep it stable. And it was at this point that I figured out that the headboard hardware did not come with what I ordered. I checked on their website and it didn't show anything about it, and then I scrolled down a little further and I realized that it was sold separately. I went ahead and brought the bed over to my client's house 90% done, and a week later I installed the headboard when the hardware came in. Installation was one of those easier done than said type of things. All I had to do was slide the hardware into place, tighten it from the bottom, put the headboard on, and then I could officially say I was done. I installed the headboard at night, but my client was able to send me a few photos of the bed with better lighting the next morning. And I was glad to see that he liked it as well.
So all in all, with the exception of waiting for the hardware, the glue, and polyurethane dry times, this bed only took about 4 or 5 hours to build. I love this bed's sleek modern design, and I'm glad that I was able to build it. Since you're already watching my video, you might as well go ahead and check out the rest of them on my channel. Anyways, thanks for watching, and please stick around for more content. Hey, come here, Bubba. Come back over here. Chesty! 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 Come on, Bubba. Come here.